Hey, mama, is it true what they say that Papa never worked a day in his life? And mama, there's some bad talk going around town saying Papa had three outside children and another wife. That ain't right. Hey, they say Papa did some storefront preaching, spent most of his time tracing women and drinking, dealing in debt and stealing in the name of the Lord. Mama just held her head to the side. She said, Your papa was a rolling stone. Yeah, yeah. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. Hi, Melissa Chateau. Mm-hmm. Tanya B. Curl Baby. Mm-hmm. Cheryl Burnett. How y'all doing? Hi, Toontown. Mm-mm. For it is the love of money. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Child, did y'all see this dude? Hi, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, we're still talking about Whitehead. So now Whitehead all week has been announced that he's going to have this big press conference, right? They going to all meet in front of the storefront, and he going to have a press conference, right? First of all, Whitehead, after all of the backlash you've taken about how your design skills in your building and how cheap and awful it looks, how are you going to call on all America to look in on your little press conference and put that raggedy piece of shit, ill-fitting shit over the podium? God damn, you don't even Whitehead. You spend all your time putting decorations on yourself, right? Do you not have an eye, or someone in that church have an eye where they can at least see that that cover you put over the podium does not fit? It looks ridiculous. It looks raggedy. You're standing in front of a raggedy looking building. You're standing in front of a poster of the building next to your building because yours is so small you can't even get it on film. Because I guess because the other one is white as opposed to yours being black, which looks like the back door to a tavern or something, right? This man's got his eyes blanked out and all this kind of, you don't even have enough sense that maybe I can put something over that or take one of them ridiculous banners out of my church and put it over his banner or something. It looks so sloppy, brother. Now, I've got several things to say about this. I'm not going to try to belabor it, but yes, you brought us a story and we're going to talk about it. How's that? Okay, so that's enough about the actual appearance in this industrial area. Who has a church in an industrial area? Your building and the building next to yours seems to be the only near real retail space. Everything else is like a factory, right? Perfect place for a robbery. So, this person who calls himself Bishop Whitehead, I would like him to do a whole video explaining why he's a bishop. I have a hard time calling this dude bishop, right? I want to know who ordained you and who named you bishop. A bishop to what? You don't seem to have any affiliation. In the audience of this little small press conference of yours, we see the white folks that come out. There's about maybe 6 or 7 of them. And what we're going to talk about now, and nobody from your church, apparently. It seems like if you were the pastor of supposed to be some big mega church, just your parishioners would have filled the sidewalk out, right? There was only 2 people. There was one woman beside you. I guess she's supposed to be your attorney, who you totally ignored, and then a blonde-haired woman, which could likely be your wife because she has the same blonde wig on, right? But she's also wearing a collar. So that's the only representative of clergy that I see. I don't see any other pastors there. You said his press conference was a call to arms to all the pastors in New York, right? And perhaps the reason why they didn't show up for you, first of all, they don't believe you. They think you're just a con man. You keep talking about your church, your church, your church, your church. But really, when we really look at you, Mr. What's his name again? Why? What is his man? What is his name? Weinhardt or some shit. I haven't forgotten the man's name. That's how insignificant you are. Anyway, y'all know I had that. Whitehead. Okay. Mr. Whitehead. Okay. You come out of prison and call and name yourself a pastor immediately Then you name yourself a bishop. That's very offensive to me. Me as a person of faith, I expect you to put some little more respect on this religion that you claim that you're so a part of. You're a part of, and that you have no support. Now, I heard you say a couple of things that I heard you say in this long 1 hour speech of yours. You're supposed to be having a press conference for the press, right? You go on to preach and preach and preach and reenact this damn story. I guess this is your 15 minutes of fame. I don't know, but you said that this is the first time a pastor has been robbed in New York City. New York City, with a population of something like 8 million people. When people come to work, it swells to something between 20 and 30 million people, and not one of them people have been robbed. Child, damn near everybody in New York has been robbed, and they're getting robbed right now. Perhaps, Mr. Whitehead, they don't go on press tours and they don't film them being robbed and post it all over the internet. Maybe that's why you don't know the people have been robbed. Anybody who's walking around with $400,000 worth of junk around their neck has been robbed, right? More than likely they have been robbed at some point. They don't want nobody to know. They're embarrassed by it. Not you, right? And so you went on to say that this is how they treat the black man. They always accusing a black man of being a criminal. Well, that's fine coming from an innocent person. If that's an innocent person's point of view, but you're not innocent. You were tried and convicted, sir, and you still have not taken responsibility for what your crimes were. We're sitting here 9 years later after they let you go, and you still, even to this day, cannot take responsibility for the crime you committed with identity theft, stealing people's identities, buying cars with their identities, buying motorcycles with other people's information, right? All the crimes that you are clearly guilty of, you say falsely accused. I was falsely accused. They couldn't prove how they get the evidence in. It ain't about the evidence. It's either you did it or you didn't do it. Or you say you didn't do it. I mean, how much evidence do they have on you, sir? And frankly, you don't. Okay. Whatever happened to the first 48? I'm just curious. These kids, and I call them kids because I saw their body structure. They're all skinny. They move like young people. They left back so much evidence. Left behind. So why haven't they been caught yet? Right? I mean, it's been 5 days. People who in that community know who they are. They have identifying clothing. Yes, a lot of people have Nike shirts, long sleeve Nike shirt with the swoosh on it, and a lot of people have Adidas long shirts with the Adidas emblem on it, right? But how many of them are both of the people who hang out with each other? They both wear that same clothing. It's not new clothing, right? So somebody knows them just by what they were wearing and by their body movements. And then you had the film all over New York City. They can't find them. I mean, if they can't find these, they didn't wear gloves, which means there's probably fingerprints all over the damn place, right? You saw their car. We saw the car. How did the car get that convenient space right in front of the church? I mean, did you clear the space for them to park there? Because from what I can see, the Mercedes was parked right in front of and you come up with this harebrained story about how you chased them out of what you got to chase them out of the building for? You had them when they were in the building. What were you going to do to them? You going to take their guns from them? Mr. Whitehead, you don't come off as an authentic person. And I personally take offense at the way you use the name of God. You hollering about God, same time you hollering about God, you still want to crucify the faggots, your words and not mine. The faggots is what you call them, or call us. You worried about who's sucking whose dick. And nigga, you stealing millions of dollars from little old ladies. Make it make sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, right? So you're exposing to the world who and what you are. And now you put another nail in the coffin. So I'll tell you something, mister. You're going to be investigated more than you were yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. And people who have lost money fucking with you are going to come out of the closet now because they've realized I am not alone. We are here. We are here. We are here. The victims. Right? You said you're the real estate man, but yet people are saying that we don't see where he sold any real estate. What is his real estate deals? It sounds like he promises people that he's going to get them in houses, takes their money, and then that's the end of the deal. He just takes their money and go to the Fendi store. Right? It's classic. Let's see what else we got. So I'm going to go over here and get a little taste. What y'all think? Have y'all watched it? Am I watching that long, boring ass sermon? Is that how you preach, y'all? People tell me that your wife is really the preacher in the family. She hooked up with your ass, a known criminal, and all of a sudden you a bishop. All right, people, we got to get a little small taste of this. We're skipping ahead to the questions. Him preaching about how innocent he is and all that, doing it to the black man and all that shit. Well, nobody needs to hear that anymore. It's just so trite. Look at this damn sidewalk. Mister. Okay, I'm looking at the screen. He's standing here all dirty up in his suit. He ain't got no Fendi. I guess it'll be too much because they already own it to him, right? He moved the podium outside in front of this building, next to his building, right? The sidewalk where he's giving his big press conference to all the pastors and all the clergy and all the media. He didn't even bother to sweep the sidewalk. It's filthy. There's dirt all over the goddamn place, right? How could he not see that? This podium got some ill-fitting thing that was made for some other kind of table. He just throws that over the top of the podium. I mean, what is that green stuff on the floor? It's got like drug paraphernalia on the ground right where he's giving his press conference, right? For him, it's all about him. He'll spend hours and hours and hours in the mirror fixing himself up. He's done nothing to this ramshackle place that he's in. And he doesn't even bother to sweep the sidewalk before he has a press conference. Boggles the mind. Let's hear a little taste.
For $90,000 life savings. Did you do that? And what is your response?
Well, today.
Okay, I'll give you the question. The question from the young journalist. He's opening up for questions now, right? Nobody cares about this damn long sermon about this fake robbery. The media that are there, I'll play it again for you. The very first question, and when he opens it up for question finally after an hour of talking, here's what he says. Can y'all hear?
The woman in the lawsuit accused you of stealing $90,000 life savings. Did you do that? And what is your response?
Well, today, as one of the CBS reporters so kindly brought to our attention, and my attorney also brought to my attention, we gained a victory today. Y'all do your own research, but I can't get into the legality of this fictitious.
Okay, we're back with the fictitious. The man asked him, "What is the story about you stealing this woman's life savings? Is it true? Did you do it?" His answer is, "We gained a victory today. We gained a victory today. I can't tell you about the victory. We gained a victory today. You got to do your own research." Why I got to do my own research? It's a simple question. Did you take his woman's money? What's the victory? We gained a victory today. I didn't want to say anything about it. We gained a victory. What is the victory? Press conference? Let's hear a little more.
Claim against me. So we gained a victory today.
What is it?
So everybody that's been posting about Bishop, I want y'all to understand that y'all are seeing a true man of God.
A true man of God.
The way y'all want to paint me. But we gained a victory today, and I'm going to leave it right there.
Wait, you can't even, that's not answering the question. How you going to say we gained a victory today? Man asks you, did you steal that woman's money? We gained a victory today. We gained a victory today. Now y'all see a true man of God. A true man of God. I'm so offended by it. I'm so offended by the way he uses the name of the Lord in vain.
And also,
another question.
With the mayor since yesterday?
Have you spoken with the mayor since yesterday?
What did you talk about?
He just encouraged me to keep my head strong.
Next question.
So actually, the numbers numbers, the 400,000 and the 1 million, they come straight from the NYPD. That's how we're reporting it. And I actually asked the NYPD how they got those numbers, and they said a victim of the crime reports the numbers. So I was wondering, first, how did the $400,000 number come up, and then how did it go up to $1 million?
You have to ask the NYPD for that.
I said to ask you.
Okay, we're at a press conference. You're here to answer questions from the press. The press are asking you, how did the number go from $400,000 worth of jewelry you were robbed to $1 million? A simple question, right? What do you say? You got to ask the police. You got to ask the PD. You got to ask somebody else. Don't ask me. Why are you having a press conference if you're not going to answer the questions? So far, 2 questions asked, both averted.
No, I'm telling you to ask them. Yeah. So next, who's asking another question?
Next question.
My legal team told me do not get into the value of any property.
Uh-huh.
So you guys do your research. You guys do what you have to do, but those numbers are inaccurate.
Well, why they got to do research? Why can't you just answer the question? The moment you got robbed, when the people walked out the door, the number became $400,000, right? So I don't know if you calculate when you get up in the morning how much your jewelry is worth, how much each chain is worth, how much jewelry is on your wife. Are you including the wedding ring? We assume she at least had the wedding ring because her diamond necklace is 1/3 the size of yours. Now she's the woman, but you got on more jewelry than the woman, right? But you knew the number 400,000. Now I don't know how it got exaggerated to $1 million, but people want answers, and you seem to have no answers. You seem to have bored these people to tears with this long ass sermon. And when they ask you something after they done sat there and put up with listening to your ass, you can't answer a goddamn question. Can y'all hear this? I hope y'all can hear it.
Were the items insured? Yeah, that's a legal question.
Okay. Wait a minute. So the next Caucasian gentleman, they've come out specifically for the story. I don't see any of his congregants out here. I see maybe 5 black people are there. Mostly is these journalists from the city. And this journalist asked him, was the jewelry insured? Y'all don't believe me? I don't know how loud I can get this thing. Hold on. Can I get it louder?
Yeah, that's a legal question. Anybody else with a question?
He said, are the items insured, or were the items insured? And Whitehead says, that's a legal question. You got to ask the lawyers. He answered one of the 3 questions that have been answered, simple, basic type questions, and he hasn't answered one. They're all legal questions, he says. He don't want to admit that he robbed that woman, and she is not the only one, honey. Her how much you have? Her $99,000 is not enough to support Bentleys and Rolls Royces and $4 million estates and all this stuff, child. There are other victims.
Have you spoken to the Department of Interfaith in regards to? Have you spoken to the Department of Interfaith in regards to the situation of the religious houses?
Well, we have really been taking our time because this has been a traumatic experience. So I've been having my church in therapy.
You got your church in therapy, sir. You called a news conference for leaders of the church. Not one person in clergy has showed up for your event. Not one. The only person wearing a collar in that whole audience is a woman I think could be your wife. She has on the blonde wig and the collar. She has a collar on, and she's giving you these softball questions. She's the only one giving you a softball question. We'll see that at the end. And incidentally, at the end, he does devolve into crying.
This week. So my main focus right now is to make sure that my church is okay. And
it ain't got nothing to do with your church. They could have come into a restaurant and stripped you of all of your jewelry, all of your valuables, right? A lot of people would think they were sent there to get that stuff, and this was your scheme, whether it's for insurance, because you wouldn't answer the question Is it insured? Simple question. Oh, that's illegal. That's a legal matter. How the fuck is it legal matter? Did you insure the shit or not? Right? They could have done that anywhere, sir. You happen to be in a church. They walked into the building. They walked right up to you. They stripped you down. You were already on the ground. They never told you to get on the ground. You were making sudden moves, and then your camera miraculously moves off of the actual crime because you don't want to give them too much time on camera, right? So it's moved off of the actual event. Takes place off of the camera. How in the hell did that happen? You've been recording in that building forever. If I were a robber, and if I were coming onto a stage to rob somebody on stage live, and I know it's live because it's live every week, right? And there's a camera that I actually bumped and moved, I think I would have knocked the fuck out the camera. Why in the hell am I going to just move the camera slightly and keep on robbing your ass? If the camera is on the stand, if it can be moved, you said it got accidentally moved, that means it's on the floor. Why in the hell would I just move it slightly and get around the camera and keep the camera going? It's all bullshit, Mr. Whitehead. Okay, we ain't gonna listen to all this. It's a 14-minute video. He has another one over an hour for the full thing, which is just him preaching about how they treating the black man wrong and all that shit. That is the speech for an innocent man, honey, not for a con man. Now, Whitehead, you say that it's wrong for these people to keep throwing up your past. And I would agree to some degree, but that would only be true if you didn't come out of prison and continue to do crimes, right? When you went in, a lot of those crimes you did when you went in were also about cars. Apparently cars have some real value to you. But when you come out of prison and then you immediately riding around in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and Maseratis and all this kind of shit, child, you're doing the crimes now. And when these people have started to come up and tell and let us know that you stole their money, you had no compassion for this woman. I mean, you're talking about the Son of God, Jesus Christ, right? And at the same time you running your mouth about Jesus Christ, you over here taking this woman's life savings. Her son introduced her to you. You knew that she had some money. It came up. She was trying to buy a house. You stepped in like the demon that you are, and you took that woman's money. And your agreement is while you're looking for her a property, which there's no evidence of you buying or selling anything, right? No actual property. But the agreement is you're going to give her $100 a month. Now, who in the fuck can live in New York City on $100 a month? People are struggling to live in New York City with $3,000 a month. How insulting is that? And then you have the audacity to go and buy a $4.5 million house for yourself and deny that woman even the $100 that she's supposed to get. You didn't think I was going to tip her off? $100 damn dollars, nigga. As I said, there are other victims. So these journalists here are not interested in his long speeches about what a victim he is and how he cares so much about his church, right? All the questions so far are about his shenanigans, his illegal shenanigans right now, his predatory actions right now. And so far, he hasn't answered one question. Give me just a little bit more taste so we can discuss.
All of those meetings will come. All of those meetings will proceed. I'm hoping that the governor will reach out to me so we can have a sit down. Since I am the first pastor to ever be robbed in history in New York City, so
so he's calling on the governor. Mr. Child. You are standing in front of a storefront brick. It's not even got windows in it. It's just this brick building over in the industrial area. This little tiny little ramshackle church, and you're calling on the governor, the mayor, and you're telling them, I can get my sound up very high on here for some reason. You're telling those people that this is the first time that someone's been robbed in the church. So why do we need all these initiatives? If it's only happened one time in the history of New York City, why would we need the mayor, the governor, the president? He goes on to invite President Biden to come there as well.
Governor to reach out to me. I'm also just waiting for all elected officials that can pass laws to sit down with me, and I'm definitely going to address that.
So, before you
Another question.
turn the young man in after shooting on the subway, I remember when last year you ran, of course, for Brooklyn Borough President. Yes. And during that campaign, you accepted a loan under $50,000 from a woman down in Miami, just said, Bayoro. Just wondering how you know her and why you did not repay her.
Thank you so much. At this present time, Bishop will no longer be answering any more questions.
Wait a minute. The next question is from this other Caucasian. I only keep saying they're Caucasian because it doesn't seem like they're from that community, right? The community, there's a few, about 10 people there. Anyway, these journalists have come there, and now she asked her, yes, I can get that again. Where his attorney, this woman on the side, child, she got on Johnny Versace shirt. Okay, hold on. I want to hear this question.
I did not repay her.
Thank you so much. At this present time.
Okay, so she asked about why is another woman apparently he done ripped off. Why did you not repay this woman her money, right? And the attorney who sits on the side of him tells him,
Bishop will no longer be answering any more questions. We appreciate your time. Have a good day.
I didn't even get to finish.
She realized what a fool he's making of himself, right? So she tried to tell the bishop won't be answering no more questions, and the conference is over. And thank you for showing up all this shit, right? And he stopped her. No. I want to talk some more. I'll talk some more.
Yeah. I'm gonna. You're right. They're trying to listen. That's more of a legal question, and what you just stated is inaccurate. I'm gonna leave it there. But that's
you're gonna leave it there, nigga. We want to know why you didn't give that woman back her money. Are we talking about the same woman with the 99,000, or are we talking about the woman with the 40,000? I don't know which one, but you are averting each one of them, child. You could have taken one of your pinky rings and paid both of them, right? But no, you felt it necessary to put it on yourself. Narcissist man, you. So he shut the lawyer up. I don't know why he would even pay her if he's not gonna take her advice. He's been on there over an hour.
You have a lawyer we can get in contact with?
Yeah.
What's his name?
We're gonna do send an email, and then we'll email you back. All right.
What email?
Press conference at lotim.org.
LOE.
Okay, so they're asking him, do you have an attorney? So is the woman just the armor bearer, or is she an attorney? She tried to close him down, right? So we don't know what her role is because they just asked him, do you have an attorney we can talk to? He says, you send an email to the website and we'll get back to you with the name of the lawyer, right? But the name of the website is pressconference.something. So it was just set up because there was no press conference after, 2 days ago, right? So he just set up, and then they got to contact him, and he'll tell them the name of the lawyer. Why is the lawyer a secret?
lotim.org.
All inquiries, all press releases will be sent out to the media with all information on Bishop Whitehead, and any questions that you may have can be filled to the trio.
Restore faith in the community.
That's a good question.
How do you restore faith to the community?
Restore the faith in the community by coming together, right? By not separating. The Bible says a divided house can't stand.
Oh man,
right?
come on! I ain't trying to hear no. I don't want to hear no
They
scripture
are
from
able
you.
to attack me, and the way they attack me is because we are a divided people. We are a divided house.
They attacked you because you in a storefront church in the ghetto with $400,000 wrapped around your neck, nigga. That's it. It ain't nothing about the church. They wouldn't give a fuck if you were in a spaghetti factory, girl. Wherever you at, it was not an attack on the church. It was an attack on you. We don't know if it was a paid attack or if you actually got robbed. Frankly, people find a hard time to be crying about your diamonds, but you're always trying to make it about the church. Anyway, people, okay, we heard enough. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? This fool didn't answer one question. Every time they ask a question, white folks terrible, child. They said, we don't want to hear that shit, child. What about the money? Are you gonna get that woman back her money? Oh, that's a legal question. That's a legal question. It is not a legal question. No, it ain't. You took the lady's money under false pretense, and you failed to give it back to her. Right? We don't know how long you're gonna be free and on the street. So we want to get her money back to her now. Right? You don't do that to people. We're hollering about Jesus Christ and calling people faggots. Girl, I think that your sins far exceeds who you have fleshly encounter with. To be honest, honey. Mm-hmm. How y'all doing today? He was born in Harlem on a Friday night. Lord, he been scheming and scamming since that night. It's been a long time coming, but I know he done got his Rolls Royce. Oh, yes, he did. There he goes to his congregants. And he said, congregants, help me, please. You ain't got one person. You have not got one preacher in the city the size of New York City or Brooklyn. Not one person will come and stand by you. They'll stand by you. Even though they know you're guilty, they'll stand by you. Nobody's going to take a picture with you, dude. It's over. Yes, it's over. Call it a day. The kids are gone. Mm-hmm. He is going to talk himself right back into cuffs. It's the truth, Tabby Cat. Every time he opened his mouth, the woman tried to have loving kindness. Says, please, Pastor, please shut up. Okay, that's another question. That's another questions because they thought he was going there asking questions about the glory of the Lord. No. We want to know about the money. We want to know about the money on each case. And you people, watch and see. They coming out the woodwork. They all going to lawyer up all them old ladies he ripped off. And they're going to come for that ass, right? So we're going to get story after story. We don't know how long this story going to last, child. But I have definitely taken an interest in it because I ain't never seen somebody so blatant. I mean, can't you take a broom and sweep the ground before you have a press conference, child? You want everybody to look at you. Nobody showed up, child. ZX channel got canceled again. Don't he got 5 or 6 of them? I don't know how these guys ever make any money because they're always losing the channels. Thank you, RJ Supreme. The lady can use his reward offer as a proof he got the money. Whitehead is not smart. No, he's not smart. He ain't saying nothing about no damn $50,000. It was never going to be no $50,000. He thinks he's so smart. And if he has hired them kids to do that, if they are nephews or nieces or whoever he had doing it, baby, they're going to catch them. They are going to catch them. They left too much evidence behind. If I can figure that out and y'all can figure that out, surely the NYPD can figure that out, right? Unless they're in on it. If they don't catch these fools in the next couple of days, they're going to be under investigation, right? If he got connections with the mayor, does he have connection with the local government there in Brooklyn as well? Why haven't they caught these people? It seems so simple. How many white Mercedes they got riding around in Brooklyn? New York, that's not a car town. People don't put all that kind of money in cars, right? Right? So they got the car. If they got the license plate number, because it's filmed right outside the church. We see the car. Ask me how do they know they're gonna have to film it? He talking about he running after them. Oh, He's Wonder Woman all of a sudden. He running after them to catch them. I was running after them. I think I was running around the neighborhood. I drove up and down. Oh, right. So they're just driving up and down the neighborhood. Whitehead, you so stupid. You're not smart enough for this game, bro. At least these other charlatans, these mega pimps, they are smart enough to make it appear at least that they actually believe in God. Not you. You hollered about your church. What they did about church? My church, my church. If you gave anything about the damn church, it wouldn't look like that. No members showed up. How many members are there actually? And why is he claiming like he's a mega pastor? He said, "Oh, y'all don't do that to Joe Osteen. Y'all don't care about his planes. Y'all don't care about it." Joe Osteen has a church now that fills football stadiums. You got a little ramshackle a storefront on the bad side of town. It got 25 people in there. It can only hold a maximum of 100. So you think you're supposed to be able to buy the same things that Joe Osteen buys? And you must be judged because you're a black man? That's why they're coming after you? No, sir. That's not it. How are you going to spend all that? How much you spend this year? What is this here? Okay. How much did you spend this year, bruh? Buying junk. Ridiculous junk. You look like a country pimp. The lies, says lovely one. Insurance scam. Well, I intimated yesterday, I think it might be him hiding the assets. Because if Larry Reed is correct and he's about to go and do some more time, what he needs to do is get rid of his assets. So it could be insurance money, but if the government, United States government is involved, if the FBI is involved, they'll certainly be aware of that insurance payment, right? And so they'll take that as well. They take everything. When the Fed comes, they come for everything, right? They'll take your house. They'll take his house. Apparently, he ain't got no property, although he's claiming to be a real estate mogul. In the last 3 days, he come up with the idea he owns a whole city block. That's just pimp talk. We got to see that, right? But if you do own it, they're taking that too. You can't just take these old ladies' money and think you're just gonna keep it. Why would you even think something like that, man of God? And why aren't your congregants showing up? It makes me think there are no congregants. The only thing we can confirm is 25 people. Shit. I hope they do a thorough investigation behind this man. Oh, they are. They're going to have to now. He didn't call such a stink, and he done insulted he's insulting the press while he's talking to the press. Those two that showed up. I think he had Fox 5 was there and some NBC channel. We assume that is true because the microphones for NBC and I think Fox 5 are on the podium, right? But where are the reporters? I don't see anybody from NBC or Fox 5 there. So how would the microphones get there? This could be another scam. All there is a sticker, The people who are in the audience, usually when you have a press conference, they'll call out who they are associated with, right? Karen Johnson from NBC, Michael Smith from ABC, whatever. There are no people. The journalists that are there appear to be from smaller organizations, and they appear to be almost like they're students because they're so young. Nobody cares about his ass. This is supposed to be a press conference for clergy, and there's no clergy there. Only the woman that came with him with the blonde wig. And I guess that woman is not an attorney. They asked for an attorney. He said, "No, you got to contact me, and I'll send you it by email," which is another lie. Oh, the email is pressconference.org. Press conference. What? So you just made that up today? Because before today, there was no press conference, right? That's where you sit. Why didn't you give them your real email address? They're journalists, right? What he's doing is nowhere near legal. He needs to be thrown back in jail. Yeah, it is disgraceful. The God part is the most offensive part to me altogether. Because really, This whole situation since Sunday, it has got nothing to do with God or the church or all this mumbo jumbo he's talking. It ain't got nothing to do with it. It got to do with a flashy nigga who got robbed. It ain't got nothing to do with the church. Church didn't get robbed. Oh, they were all laying down. Well, why don't you show it to us? You show us everything else, child. I ain't seen nobody lay. When they have a chance to lay down? After they saw you fall to your knees so quickly, you fell to your knees before the people arrived at the stage. They weren't even there yet. They were in motion and you laying down on the ground. Whatever. Who is that? Hi, Egyptian goddess. Nikki with the eye patch balloon. How y'all doing? Yeah, this brother is provided content in a dry land. So we thank you, sir. Go ahead, make a fool of yourself some more. Why did you wear none of your Fendi blouses and things? You try to look conservative. He's thinking press conference, and yet all he thinks about is fixing himself up, right? How you gonna have drug from paraphernalia on the ground under your press conference job? People when the press want to come, they got to stand in the street, right? Because it's just a little tiny building. Actually, to get upstairs, it seems like it's just a door there. Lord have mercy, child. The Bible preaching against homosexuality. What is this that talk about the orphans and widows? Right? Did it say you could rob them? We can debate if sucking dick is right or wrong, but there is no debate about robbing ladies for their life savings and feeling nothing about it and talking about that's a legal matter. I bet it is a legal matter. Illegal because they're going to put your ass in jail behind it. Let's get another little taste.
And you know, one thing I want to say about that, if they had cameras when my father was beat and strangled to death by 16 police officers, then we would have had a witness. But back in 1978, the black man and the black woman's testimony, witness statement, fighting.
What you fighting?
Fighting for my life.
Fighting. You laid face down. You laid prostrate, child. When you fighting. People, I apologize because all this time I've been on, my network has been 2.5. So I hope I ain't got one of these blurry videos again. I'm supposed to be on 5.0 and I can't figure out how to get it to go there automatically. Now he going on because his father was murdered. What does that have to do with that woman's money? They ask you simple questions. They ask you 4 questions and you have diverted from each one of them. All of them were financial questions. Why you have to avoid the questions? Why did you call him there for a press conference if you ain't gonna say nothing about it? Excuse me, he got a CBS microphone, an NBC microphone, and a Fox 5 microphone up there. So we assume, right? But there are no journalists to back them up. The journalists are totally different people. So we'll see if this is broadcast like that. He seemed to think he's having his moment. He said he's the most talked about man in America at this point.
Bishop, I'm sorry, but what would you say to people who wonder how a pastor has the kind of money that cares
What I say, the Bible says in the book of Genesis that there are 4 streams of the rivers. So I always teach my church and I always teach people to have more than one stream of income. It's not about getting in my business. It's about having more streams of income.
Nigga, it's about not ripping off old ladies for their goddamn life savings. That's their money. The Bible says about the rivers in Jordan. Child, we ain't talking about no damn 6,000 years ago. We talking about right now. Right now, you are stealing people's money to buy junk to put around your neck. You behave it like some damn street punk.
I'm not on a salary with my church. It's about getting happy.
He said he's not on a salary with his church, and then he points back at this ramshackle ass building that I believe looks like they sell used tires in there. Now, I don't know if the white building is supposed to be is his church, or is he at the little black opening next door to it, right? another storefront with the thing pulled down. Whatever it is, you say you don't take a salary from there. How you gonna take a salary from 25 people? It is New York, so no, even though it is a dive, a piece of junk, you still got to pay whatever rent is there, right? So that's probably all you could possibly get out of there is enough to pay the rent. Maybe you got to throw something in with it. I don't know. Rip some other old lady off, some other gullible person, or maybe you're getting some kind of government grants to pay for this piece of shit, right? But we're not impressed that you don't take a salary from that church. We didn't think you bought no goddamn 100 suits, Fendi suits, from what you're getting out of that church, right? On this back alley in this industrial area. Who even comes over there? And if you have so much support and you've been talking about press conferences all week, where are your parishioners at least to make it at least appear to be a successful where somebody's interested in it, girl?
Having multiple streams of income. That's it. Everybody wants to box me in to make it seem like I am on salary with my church. I'm not.
It got nothing to do with your church. I'm so sick of you saying the word church. It's got nothing to do with no damn church. It's got to do with you got robbed. And no, you are not the first pastor in the city of New York City to be robbed. You are the first one that comes on here going viral for being robbed, right? These cameras conveniently filmed all of that and turned away from the actual crime, so we wouldn't get a good look at these people, right? I'm the only one in history of New York. Well, if you're the only one in the history of New York, I would say that New York has enough issues to deal with right now, worrying about one person in the history of New York City who's been robbed at church. The church has got nothing to do with it, dude. And I don't think the church got anything to do with you, really. It's a front. It's something you can call yourself. Meanwhile, you're ripping people off.
To answer your question, you already had another question.
Thatcher, I'm just wondering about the police presence here. Have you been getting any police protection since the robbery?
Yes. The NYPD is amazing. The 69th precinct, the captain calls me all the time. The chief of patrol, the commissioner of community affairs came here. The NYPD has been impeccable.
They ain't impeccable, nigga. They ain't caught the goddamn kids with fingerprints, cars, pictures, film, video. They ain't caught nobody. They're not being impeccable. Fool. Let me get out of here. Girl, wrap this bullshit up. Y'all ain't paying attention to this foolishness, child. Foolishness. What else going on? You know, sounds like BS. That's right, Egyptian goddess. It sounds like BS. Past the chicken grease lips. Somebody called me last night and told me, you know what? We had a friend who used to do weddings. He was an officiant, right? He recently passed away, but he was an officiant. After he decided he wanted to do weddings for a living, and he make a couple $100, $300-$400 every time he did a wedding, right? Well, actually, he would pay us that much, so as witnesses. So he's making, it was a job. Do you know how long it took for him to get his license to be an officiant, right? Which is basically, it is a ministerial type certificate. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And he said, this guy says that he had looked this guy up, his credentials, why he called himself a bishop, and he got his credentials from the same place that our friend who was an officiant who became a pastor in 2 weeks. They're from the same place. Now, I haven't researched it. I haven't cared enough. That's pretty pathetic, right? You don't just get out of prison and become a bishop, child. If you are a real bishop, then you would be in charge of other churches in your area. And there would be representatives of the other churches there. You would have one voice. One for all and all for one. You steal, you kill, you have a ball. Nobody came. What y'all doing today? If that camera was bumped, it would have wobbled. Absolutely. I didn't see no wobbling. I saw a camera got moved over I mean, the robber had to come on stage and move the camera over a little bit on his stage. Or was it electronically moved? Whatever it was, it took place off of camera. Just like every time he cries, it always, excuse me, never any water. I ain't seen no camera move either. And I think if I'm robbing somebody, the last thing I want to do is adjust their cameras. Yeah, it's gonna be a bitch when they catch him. I don't know how I don't see how they could not catch him. And if they don't catch him, then you have to start looking at investigating the police and their involvement, right? With all this evidence, what do? They smash the Mercedes, put it in the ocean. Why haven't you caught them? You got all this media attention. Well, not a lot of media attention. Most of this stuff is just online, us running our mouths, right? Because I didn't see any news trucks there. If they did come, they wouldn't have no place to park. Yet this Mercedes was conveniently parked right in front of the door. Who held that space? All the woman wanted was $100. This nigga didn't even give her $100. Said that goes past just a flim flam, man. That's evil. That is an evil person, right? And this dude, whoever he has introduced this motherfucker to his mother. You're gonna take advantage of somebody's mother, then you're gonna turn on him. Imagine that somebody take somebody supposed to be a preacher, introduce them to your mother, and the pastor rips off your mother for everything she's got, everything she owns. She signs over to him. And you got to recognize something also, people. A lot of times these fools, they take advantage of old people, right? Y'all see how my memory goes in and out. I'm only 64. But when you get to be 70, 80 years old, your mind is not as sharp. So many times they have dementia. Many times, and when he finds out that there's any clink, any way he can manipulate them, sometimes people are overly religious and they actually believe these pastor fools got power, whatever the reason. He takes advantage of these people. And now that they got him, and every question by the people, the journalists that were there, every single question involved finance, robbery, thievery. Why you won't pay these people their money back, right? It never even occurs to them. Oh no, I can't answer that question. Oh no, that I can't. And the woman can't even pull you off stage. You won't talk some more because you crave attention. I meet somebody, and when I go to shake their hand, and they're wearing $400,000 wrapped around their neck, or they crave attention. We see you. Tommy, can you see me? Can you feel me near you? Oh, Tommy. 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 We see you, nigga. Call me bishop. Why I gotta call you a bishop for? What have you done to become a bishop? Did you do you have a master's in theology? What do you have? Are you a PhD? Are you a part of a larger organization? Right? Who called you a bishop? And why do you think people got to be running out here kissing your ass about you a bishop? All you talk about, my church, my church, my church, our church, our church. Obviously, the church is the thing that you value the least. That's just a place to go run your mouth and maybe find some new victims. Several streams of income. No, you can't get streams of income. You can't get drug streams. You can't get robbery, which is what you're guilty of. You can't. All money is not good money, sir. Three of my streams of income are illegal, taking advantage of the elderly. What, you gonna have this woman eating tuna fish? God damn, $100? Is she nearing retirement? I think she said she was either retired or near retired, and all she had coming in was that $100, and whatever her pension was. And you gonna deny her even the 100 to draw all this damn attention on yourself, nigga? You get what you deserve. You deserve what you get. Am I way behind peoples? How you doing, Tori, in New York City? Do you know him, Tori, in New York City? It is a ramshackle. God damn thing. That's a dive. That's a dive. You're supposed to go in there and sell fish sandwiches. Although there would only people you can sell fish sandwiches to would be workers in like little factories, little clothing factories. Because when they pan the neighborhood, it's not even a neighborhood where people live. It's like an industrial area. And they got these three little nasty little places there. And he's calling this his church, his mega church. This is what supports Rolls Royce trucks and Bentleys. Why would you need a Rolls Royce and a Bentley? Anybody got a Maserati or some other kind of shit, girl? And then he got a $4.5 million a house in New York. You don't give that much. $4.5 million place for him to live. And he can't get his woman $100 after she gave him $90,000. Now, this is not a gift. And he has the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say that her money is now a donation to his political campaign. What the fuck? How can you do that? What kind of a person can do that? You think a woman who is living on a fixed income, who has saved money all her life and handed it over to you, so because her credit was bad, and you said that you could buy the house for her, and you take that money, and now you're calling it a political contribution? I mean, how much nerve does the person have, honey? How can you do that? And hang a cross around your neck. You don't do stuff like that, man. Unless you're a criminal. And that's what you are. A sociopath. And you're a narcissist. A narcissist requires all this junk. People, why do you need all that shit to do good works? I buy what I want. You can buy what you want. Buy it with your mama's money. How about that? Why don't you go over there and rip off your own goddamn mama and let mine live? Deny that woman even damn. Ooh, that's just so offensive. Elderly is 65 plus. Okay, I got one more year. I'm gonna be elderly, blue skies. I'm 64. And all of the financial stuff we're going through right now, you're gonna deny somebody $100, just like you deny them people. They said we want to fix up the podium, Pastor. Can we want to fix the podium? Can we get 500? I'll give you $20. Going down to Party City to decorate your church out. And you want to hobnob like you somebody. Call me Bishop. I want a big bishop cross. Give me 2 of them. All diamond encrusted. I want a great big old bishop ring. You put all that shit on yourself, boy. Ain't nobody made you no damn bishop. You just call yourself bishop. Shit. I can call myself bishop. We got somebody on here calling themselves pastor. They ain't got nothing to do with no damn being a pastor. Anybody could start that little ramshackle place that you got. It looked like a homeless bee out front. It was filthy. Bag? Was that bags from heroin? It was too big for heroin. So was that a shit bag in front of your press conference? You talked about the press conference for a whole week. Surely you could have done better than that, sir. You're in front of old posters with people, the eyes are all graffiti all in the face and all this kind of shit. And that's the best you can do for a press conference? How much time are you putting in this shit, man? Damn. You're in Brooklyn. Couldn't you do it in front of the water or something? Backdrop of New York City? Monster. Baby, the Fed about to get that rose, though. Now he found a way to get rid of the jury, so because they were going to take everything. Now you got to figure out a way to get them cars because he's really obsessed with cars. That was his original crime. He went and stole somebody's identity and bought a motorcycle with it first. Then he started buying these big cars. So that was the original crime. He's hooked on cars. Look at me. Look at me. Baby, when I went to New York City, what first thing caught my eyes was, I said, well, where are the cars? Everything back then, I guess now it's all Uber and stuff. Damn near every vehicle was a yellow cab. You go to financial district, people are putting all their money in cars. And when you saw cars, they were ramshackle cars. So they got to go through them rough winters and stuff. And most people take the subway. Most people take public transit, honey, transportation. People are not flying around. Only pimps, players, drug dealers ride around in cars like that. Right? It shows us what's going on the inside of you, sir. I bet the cars were leased too. That's a big lease for you. If you got a car worth $500,000, you got 3 of them. That's some hateful release. But I believe that the car people were a part of his original scams. So we don't know how he acquired them vehicles. I know he's not getting it from them 25 people. If he had a mega church, if TD Jakes had some trouble and he gave a press conference, believe me, all behind would be all people, just people, all come to see what he has to say, right? Even when Ed Alone came and gave his press conference, people, helicopters all over the damn place, Jack. Ain't nobody going up in there. You ain't even got an armor bearer by you. I don't know who that woman was, but you didn't respect her advice. I know that. Whitehead did an interview with bloggers this week. Yeah, he been all over the place. He said he rents that space he claims is his church. Who would buy something like that? They set up the church every Sunday and take it. Oh, they take it down the same day? Oh, okay. So they set up the church and then take it down every day. God damn, you ain't even gonna put that much money in. People. Grand churches rent space out all the time. All they got to do is arrange for you to come into the church after their service, right? Our church, we have other churches that we rent space out to, right? There's no excuse for moving them to something like that, right? With your 25 members, 25 to 100 members, child. It makes no damn sense, child. I don't give a damn what the circumstances are. He could have went into any beautiful church. Usually, churches are known for being beautiful, particularly if somebody's as flashy as him. He could have gone and rent space in the basement and did better than that shit that he had there. If it's all riddle, what difference does it make, right? You could have went to Grace Cathedral and rented space. You could go to hotels and have a rent space for conference rooms. There's so many other options to end up in something like that, child. It makes no damn sense at all. None. And the only people going to be impressed with all that bling and all that junk around your neck are poor people. You think rich people are going to be impressed by that, something like that, child? They're going to say, man, this fool's a damn fool. What is he, a rapper? Poor people. They'll say, oh, look at Pastor. Pastor got it going on. I'm going to be like Pastor. I'm going to be like Pastor. And then you start opening up them wallets. Open them wallets, child. You going to give $100. You barely make $100. Baby, don't start. Hi, Charles Dawson. Any legitimate and ethical clergy person does not want to be near this scam. So they are not going to publicly be seen supporting this very questionable claims of being robbed. Of course not. Hell no. That mayor going to be in trouble too. They're going to investigate the mayor. I forgot to turn the microphone around. They're going to investigate that mayor, I can assure you, honey. What is your association with this scam artist? He said he's doing some kind of real estate scams. Where is he? Where are you connected to this person, sir? And then they're gonna start looking at his affairs, right? And if they don't catch these kids that robbed him, they're gonna look at the police department. Is it corrupt as well? I mean, how much more evidence do you need, sir, to make an arrest? I thought you're supposed to catch the criminal in the first 48 hours. We're a week later. You can't catch these dudes. All these mouths, I'm sure they're all telling on each other, all trying to get to 50,000, right? They have all the information. They got them on film, girl. They got the car. They got the license plate number. They got everything, right? But yet you can't solve this simple little case. No gloves, fingerprints all over the goddamn place. People running their mouth. People in the family knows, oh, my cousin did this, he does that, trying to sneak and get the 50 grand. The $50,000, people don't believe it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. There is no $50,000. If he ain't gonna get his woman $100 a month, believe me, he ain't giving your ass no $50,000. I don't give a damn what you tell him. He think he's so smart that they're not gonna catch those kids, right? Mm-hmm. It takes one thing to get them kids to talk. We're talking 25 to 30 in the Fed, no halftime. Are you gonna go in a cell for 25 to 30 years because of this motherfucker? While he's running around in diamonds and shit? If he gave you diamonds and pearls. So ridiculous. The woman, her chain, her little chain, with her little cross on it, clustered in diamonds, is 1/4 the size that he is. He's the man, but the woman is. Where do we get it so mixed up, people? Where the man is dripping in diamonds. I thought you were supposed to give diamonds to your wife. Oh, good question. Oh, thank you, K Sharp. K Sharp says, if that church site is temporary, why didn't he have the press conference in front of the main building? I didn't think about that, child. He said he owned it. He said he owned the whole city block. That would have been perfect. Just even if it ain't fully built, you could stand in front of the new property. And don't even got a sidewalk, child. Drug addicts that knock the sidewalks out. They're going to investigate too. But people want to know where is this city block in Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn is being gentrified. So if there's a whole city block available or about to become available because the Fed have taken over it, they want to know where it's at. Wouldn't it be funny if the two so-called robbers turned out to be Nigerians he used to hook up with before he became reformed homosexual? Oh, Lord, he's gonna pull a Jesse on them? Lord, them Nigerians, they're keeping them busy over there. It might be somebody he flew out of town, flew into town to do the deed. Mm-hmm. Baby, if that Fed get in that ass, they're gonna be digging up that backyard. Anything he say he owned, they're gonna be seeing where if they buried it. You can't put it in no bank, right? And where are you gonna put all that gaudy ass jewelry at, child? Brooklyn is bought up. Well, he got a city block, he said. Now, I don't know if he said he got a building that is the size of a city block. That's a big building, baby. This building here sits on the city block. It's got 96 apartments in it. 96 apartments, y'all. Is he saying that he has a church that is that size, a city block in New York, anywhere around any borough, anywhere around New York City, that you got a city block? That means you done went there, you done tore that, you done bought out every family on that block, every business on that block. You have torn it down, and now you're building your church. On this rock, you will build your church, right? Or are you saying that you have an old building that you're renovating and it has that much parking space? I went to New York. I never saw that kind of parking space. Most of the shops and the stores I saw, they were right on the street. They just opened up the thing and they're right there, even in Brooklyn. So I'm trying to imagine how you would acquire a whole city block and what would you do with it? Are you going to waste it in just parking space? Right? How are you going to be a mega pastor if you don't have any congregation? Right? My opinion is the front, sir. You want to get the cheapest place you could get. If you are such a petty ass man that you would not give this woman $100 a month, that tells me that you are a petty type of a person, right? That's why you went in there and got the cheapest space you could find, right? Because this thing ain't got to produce nothing. This is just what I'm using for. Oh shit, Lord, we got. Do I got any moderators? Moderator, we got somebody here called Naked Game. Oh, she's nasty. Very cool anime adult game. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can get rid of all of yours, honey. Oh, we got to report you. This broad came on. She got about 20. No, it's pornography. We're going to report you. Uh-huh. Let me see if I can get you. Okay, all the messages, they all gone. Thank you, moderators. Anyway, people, y'all can see this thing. I would advise just get to the questions. They got a video up there, him running his mouth for an hour, over an hour. And at the end, when the questions start, in the end, in the questions, he did not answer one question about these finances. And the only thing that the reporters or the journalists were interested in were the financial crimes. They asked him direct questions. Why do you feel like you don't have to give this woman back her money? Did you take the money? Each time he diverted from the question. He didn't answer not one question. Okay, so y'all check it out. Good to see you, Charles Dawson. They say because I speak to you, that means I got a crush on you, something. You people nasty. Ooh, did I receive everybody? Hey, 420 King. Thanks for coming in, bro. I appreciate all you guys. We'll see what comes up next. I think he done pretty much run the story into the ground. But when they put them handcuffs on, that's going to be viral again. It's absolutely guaranteed, sir. Later.